Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So I did a piece the other day on John McCain, and people have feelings about it. That someone said, I lost so much respect for him. There was a particular philosophical point I was trying to make in the article that I won't repeat in a sense, because it's kind of besides the point. John McCain came back to the Senate for somewhat of an important vote. John McCain, if you didn't know, had brain cancer, or has brain cancer. He has a particularly aggressive form of brain cancer. That a tumor was being removed from his skull, but they needed him to come back to make the vote in order to get them on the floor so they can have the debate to take away Obamacare. Think about that. Think of the irony of that. John McCain, this guy who's been held in a Vietnam War camp, he's against torture because he was tortured. Otherwise, he's a Republican. He wouldn't give a shit. He comes into Congress. He's been in Congress for years, 30, 40 years, somewhat of a lion in regards to the Republican side. And yes, there have been bipartisan efforts where John McCain has reached across the aisle. Those days, of course, are over. He comes in to somewhat of an innovation. They're clapping. You have people somewhat with tears in their eyes. And he's giving this impassioned speech about how the Senate used to be, how this hall used to be the part that had to work together to get things done, and how politics has, for the most part, taken over what was supposed to be actual governance, getting things done. He derided them, both parties. Now, after doing that, after kind of making a point that, look, the public, if I remember this correctly, a growing support for Obamacare, and that for the most part, he doesn't want to do anything that's going to essentially take it away, to destroy healthcare in that sense. At least not the plan that the Republicans have up to this point, because they don't necessarily have a particular plan. That man who did that, who came in and said, we need to work together, made the vote to take away healthcare from millions of people, despite having amazing healthcare himself, that those millions of people who are going to lose their health care is paying for. John McCain. That's John McCain. Don't tell me to weep for John McCain. Don't tell me to weep for John McCain. My concern goes out to the millions of people in the country who are struggling with the Obamacare. Period. My concern goes out to the millions of people who are going to lose the tepid bit of health care they themselves had under Obamacare. They're going to lose it. Based upon the vote that John McCain did, he didn't have to make that vote. John McCain could have stayed in the hospital and that vote could have been a draw at that point, meaning nobody goes past. But John McCain dragged himself out the hospital to make that particular vote. John McCain. That's John McCain's swan song. That was a nice speech. But let's step back here. Like, the things that these guys do in office is somehow separate and distinct from the things that happen in the real world. Meaning, yes, I get it. You guys feel some kind of way because you guys work with John McCain for all this time. You have a tear in your eyes. He says that. But the vote that he just made is making it possible to have the conversation of removing health care for millions of people. You're making millions of people's lives harder. And you're weeping for John McCain. The decisions that you make have real world consequences. If you're going to make a vote to weaken the weakened health care that we already have in this country, guess what? You're going to have people who go without. You're going to have people who are dying without. You are. If you run a shitty candidate against a reality show host, guess what? The reality show host may win. And when that reality show host wins, that reality show host is going to do very bad things. Part of which is push a dumbass idea like this of getting rid of health care for the people in this country. Good job, Democrats. Good job, John McCain. Good job. This is your swan song. This is the thing that I will remember you by. It doesn't matter to you. You're the same guy who's okay with murdering civilians abroad, so empathy is not your strong suit. So don't be shocked that I'm not necessarily empathetic for your case. You're getting amazing health care. Imagine that. Yes, I'm John McCain. I have health care because the Senate gives me health care. But yes, I'm also going to be perfectly okay being in this particular body that these particular people voted me in to take away the health care to those particular people. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. I'm sorry. That's just an amazing irony. The guy with brain cancer votes to remove health care from people in his particular country that he's supposed to be representing. John McCain. Good job. Good job. I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, feel free to share, write, subscribe, and you can always support the work through Patreon. Thank you.